Welcome to Breezin with Bierman. I'm here with co-host.
Who?
The who? The who?
Bierman.
What? Bierman.
It's his own name. Anyway.
Good.
Call me Adam G. I'm here with the co-host. Now, for the small little world of public access TV in Princeton, we set a record. We had over 1,200 hits, which compared maybe to Justin Bieber might not be a lot, but usually shows here get 300 hits on Vimeo and other social media. With the help of Lauren Lepre and Jody Wood, we hit over 1,200. We have a fan club in France now, and we're not even Jerry Lewis and everything. And I'm supposed to thank Lauren and Jody, and I should, but at the end, it's all about me.
It is. Let's face it.
Me.
No.
Yes, I'm the orchestra. I have to orchestrate this.
You are.
I'm, the stars come and everything.
Yeah,
Right.
Put your time in.
Yeah, so
Or maybe the upgrade helped. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I don't
right?
know.
the upgrade helped.
Has that to do with Robert Downey Jr. being on the show?
Robert
maybe?
Downey, and then we
Average
had the
superstar
Comic Con.
films, yeah.
Hey, get in Comic Con. Lauren had that original idea: get people who have followings. So, if any of you have non-followings and not that interesting, don't even ask me to come on the show. Again, we're not here to help you with your soul, your karma, like other shows on Princeton TV. They deal with past lives. And all
Oh, really?
We're not here to help, yeah. And in fact, I want you to have bad past lives. Only a good life and a good following, and you can come on the show. Comments,
But bad
questions?
past lives would be kind of funny, though.
If I could make some of the other people who have shows disappear, not even have shows here anymore, it'd be better, I think, actually.
Start running an empire.
Yeah, exactly.
yes,
And be
yeah.
ruthless. I want to be mean and
But-
ruthless and.
I think the show has really good potential here. I think
think
Jody's a good upgrade as well. And I plan to bring some of the best guests that I know through my network,
Which you already have.
which I have so far. But, can keep Adam on the right track here,
They
And,
see something in
Take
me.
it seriously. Everything I do, I take seriously.
You kind of have a man crush on me, too.
No.
No, I didn't say that. That's just something Adam
That's
thinks.
definitely
It's
something going on
okay.
in his head.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's one of the most fucked up people you'll ever meet.
You thought I was bipolar the other day.
Oh, I said bisexual.
Oh, no. I like old men and young boys. No, I'm just joking. So, Lauren, what are you going to do for me next month? Are you working on anything?
I have a couple things. I have someone locked in, but if I say their name right now and they don't show up,
I
they're
dig
getting free publicity.
I
but
dig the
think we got-
tease. I dig the tease.
But I got some
what?
things on
The
deck.
tease. He's teasing for the next show.
I have some people on deck that I think deserve some good time on this. I think this is a great set here. A lot of people are just doing shows like this out of their basement. You could tell this is a nice set here. Adam's been doing this a long time, and I believe
He's
myself.
doing a lot of things in his basement. But,
Yes.
Yeah, ask my parents. They say,
But I
stop that, you'll go blind. Right?
or the smell of marijuana. I'm just.
I agreed to do the show because I like you, Adam, and I think this Princeton. I mean, it's Princeton, and top it all off. I just think the show has a lot of growth, has a lot of room to grow,
Absolutely.
and I'm going to help do my part
You
with
should have
that.
grabbed me
I
earlier
agree.
in one of your wrestling holds and said, Adam, this is what you should do. But you didn't do that.
Well, it took, I guess, to a blow up for that the right moment to jump in.
That's
but,
true. That's
yes.
true. We have 30 seconds. So anyway, we have Todd Parker, been on the show 3 times, friend of the show. He'll tell you about his new business. It's all over the world. We're going to have improv again. Robert Downey Jr. should be here. Some people
He'll be
ask,
here.
is it the real Robert Downey?
That's for you to
And,
guess.
and everything else. So,
And Robie Wood from Improv Agility.
oh, I just forgot about your brother.
He's such an asshole.
Thank you. Bendejo in Spanish. So we're going to be seeing you, and stay tuned for the next segment. For the 3rd time, Todd Parker, who has a new business. Could you pronounce the name of this business?
It's Gomocha.
Gomocha. Todd is a friend of the show. He calls up, says he wants to come on the show. He says, I'll promote your show. I go, oh, that's when I have to say yes. But anyway, Todd, 3rd time on. Let's start off with the basics. What does Gomocha mean, and what does Gomocha do?
Sure. So Gomocha is a combination of 3 words: go, mobile, and change. They are an offshoot of a company out of the Netherlands called Tenzing Global. And basically what they do is they have developed an app. And this is an app for field management. Basically, anybody in HVAC, electrical, plumbing, small to mid-sized businesses, some large businesses, people that have to deal with work orders. So you have people that go out in the field and they have all these work orders and they can get lost, they can get crumpled, nobody knows where they are. Well, we put an app on somebody's phone and you can log right in, you can see where they're going to be. You can see what skill sets they need to have. Do you need somebody that's an electrician? Do you need somebody that's a plumber? Do they have to have a certain widget in their car? Where are the cars? So we have all of that technology, all of that capability that's at the push of a button, really.
Information faster, more efficient for you and the business person.
Absolutely.
And no mistakes. No one can say they don't know, don't have.
There's
don't
no
know.
billing issues. You can't dispute something that's electronic. There's no purchasing of expensive equipment. You don't have to buy these massive servers. Everything is cloud-based. It's a very, very simple, streamlined process.
And things can't get lost. What is wrong with using paper for daily ordering, tracking, and billing? What I mean, some people still want to go old-fashioned.
Sure. So I mean, apart from the obvious thing, which is that the paper can get lost, you have a lot of the techs out in the field, and they will handwrite things, obviously, because they don't walk around with laptops.
Right.
So you have handwriting that gets smudged. You have hours that may or may not be 100% accurate. So there's issues about billing. Well, did they work 5 hours? Is that a 5? Is that an 8? I'm not quite sure. Did they take a lunch break and they billed the customer for the lunch? So all of those sort of
The old-fashioned padding's out the window.
the variables of human error, really,
And the details of the job.
and the
all that
details
kind
of the
stuff.
job. Here they open up the app, they push start, they show up at the location, they push end when they leave, and that's basically it. So
From a
it's-
business standpoint, it's great, but the old-fashioned thing, we can add an extra hour. We don't have to worry about lunch. I'm
exactly.
hungover. I want another Bloody Mary.
Right.
That's
So-
out the window.
So how are you going to bill the customer if you don't
Yeah.
know how many hours they were there?
But
Well, you
what-
don't want some scumbags coming in, and taking.
Well, that can happen, though. That's true. Yeah, can you trust these people? That's right, these service people. You're relying on
Right.
them to do the job. In an
Well, you
efficient
can
manner.
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's that logo mean?
So that's FMP 360. That's the name of the app, and that's a Field Management Portal 360. And that's something that it's put on a phone. It will run on any platform. It'll run on an iOS. It'll run on an iPhone. It'll run on an Android. It'll run on Windows 10.
Big Brother's there, but efficiency, bottom line, is really respected in terms of money. I mean,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Are you new? I mean, how many other people are doing this? You guys new
So
on the block?
there are a few companies that are doing this. The difference that sort of the advantage that we have over them is one is time to market. Basically, from the point that somebody comes to me and says, "Hey Todd, this is a fantastic app. How long does it take?" My answer is 5 weeks. 5 weeks you can be up and running. You have an environment. You have all of your customers. You have all of your assets. You have all of your users. Up and running in 5 weeks.
And you make it
everybody says-
hassle-free. You hold their hand. You take it through the
Absolutely,
process.
yeah.
Because there's problems going over to digital, right? What are these problems, though?
Well, some of the issues, of course, would be the data. I mean, if you're talking large amounts, like we have large customers. One of our biggest customers is Heineken. Now Heineken is global, and they have a large amounts of data. And sometimes a lot of the other companies they can't handle those large amounts of data. Well, we have a very streamlined process, a very strong skill set in handling the data.
And you have people who help troubleshoot, explain what's going on.
We have a whole resource team, both on the west coast of the U.S. and also offshore as well.
But what do us, the viewers, who they could be need to do to get that benefit of Gomocha?
So we actually are offering a special promotion right now. If somebody contacts us and they say the word Princeton. Now, typically, the way that this works, it's a monthly cost. It's a per user per month cost. So anybody who contacts us, who sees us on this show and says the keyword Princeton, we're going to give them the first month for free. So
Wow.
basically, already you're getting 1 month out of 12 absolutely free, no cost.
And who would contact you? A contractor, a plumber?
So it could be companies. It could be a 5-person contractor they've got an electrician and a plumber and a handyman. It could be large companies. It could be somebody like Bristol Myers Squibb or somebody like that who they have people that have to go out and do inspections or they have to do adjustments or anything. Anybody who has or transportation companies. Limo drivers, taxi drivers. Anybody who has people going out in the field.
Yeah,
on
you
a
got
daily
to.
basis.
Unfortunately, you have to trust people, and some people might not be trustworthy.
Yeah.
Right.
And too, I mean, it takes a lot of that worry that your livelihood is in the hands of subcontracted
Yeah.
people.
And the nice thing is, you're on a smartphone. You've got a built-in camera. If you need any evidence at all, boom, snap a picture.
Yeah.
There's your evidence. You need to take a picture of it. How many miles did you drive? Oh, let me take a picture of my odometer. Was that
It's tough to be
really?
a crook these days.
I know. I was thinking that though too. You really got to be on task though.
Sure. Was that really broken? Here, let me take a picture of it.
What would Heineken use it for? Like,
So Heineken actually, they obviously everybody knows what Heineken does.
Right.
And every once in a while, the tubes going to the taps need to be inspected because they back up with bacteria and things like that. So it becomes an FDA issue. So they have people that go out and they actually inspect the tubes to make sure that there's an appropriate amount of bacteria in the tube.
And that's important not to
so
mess
they'll
up.
have their work order. And
So they
stuff.
have the
Yeah,
work
I
order.
get it.
Here's the specification. Here's the location. I mean, they go global, and they go around, and this is what it looks like. This is how much time I spent there.
Wow.
Are you guys going public anytime soon?
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
Did you come up with this idea, or is it?
No, this is a company that's actually Tenzing, which is the company based out of the Netherlands, has been in business for about 30 years, and then Gomocha recently has sort of spun off of Tenzing. But we have an office in Los Angeles. We've got an office in Washington D.C. where I work 2 days a week. 3 days a week I'm here in Princeton.
Jeez. So this is your company?
No, this is a company. I've been with this company for about 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
So, can viewers team up with construction partners in terms of
Absolutely, and we strongly promote partnership. So if you've got a small company that's a 5-person company and you're saying, oh, this is really not going to be cost effective.
Yes, what I was
for me.
thinking. Yeah.
So you're an electrician and you say, hey, I've got this buddy who's a plumber. Maybe the two of us could jointly use this app. Absolutely, and we
share
definitely
they share the cost.
they share the cost. They share their
That's how it
all the
becomes
benefits.
cost effective and everything.
Absolutely.
You could use that with your acting because you're so all over the place with your. If you start,
Sure.
the Jody Wood acting school and you have to train other people and everything for your and stuff.
Well, that'll be more with the.
But actors are
Art.
weird. But actors are weird people too, and well, teachers.
What do you say?
No, but you would want accountability because you can't control the quality. 'Cause
Absolutely.
You would train them, but they might not be you, and you want
They're
it's your
not.
name. They're not. It's your name on the, but still your
That's
name on the
right.
company.
Well, and you've got GPS capabilities here. So somebody's
Yeah,
ready.
so
Your
you
call
know
time is 5:30, and you're not here. Where are they? Oh, well, they're 45 minutes away. They're obviously never going to
You
make.
know
They're
exactly
fired.
where
They're
they
out of
are.
here.
Yeah, right. You're a jerk. I can't trust you. It's over.
Right.
I can't. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I remember when McDonald's started, I saw the movie The Founder. But one reason the McDonald brothers, since back in the '40s, they tried to start franchising, but they couldn't control the quality and what was going on in their name. And yeah, you could see it. They really took it personally.
Because they wanted to do everything old school. They
Right,
didn't want to sort of embrace the new technology.
Right.
Even then.
Not in the '40s.
Not in the
You know what I'm
40s.
saying?
Would they have?
Yeah. No, but yeah.
But that's
what I mean.
that's integrity. You know what I mean?
Integrity,
That's
yeah.
what your name's on the door. You know.
Yeah, but Ray Kroc, he did it the old-fashioned. He sent people, but before he sent people would do
Make sure
spot,
that they were-
spot visits and everything.
Yeah.
And everything. So, what is it? I mean, you're growing. What do you hope to be in 5 years? What do you think is going to be going on?
So the idea is that we're going to be opening several offices all across the country. So we've got the main cities covered. I mentioned Washington D.C. I mentioned Los Angeles. The idea is in 5 years we're going to have an office in Chicago. We're going to have an office in Boston. We're going to have an office Orlando. So basically, we will be able to essentially service all 24 time zones simultaneously.
Wow. You're going to be a conglomerate. You're going to be.
You're going to be a busy
hopefully have a
man.
It'll be
monopoly.
very, very busy. Yeah.
What are you doing specifically right now? Are you in sales? I mean,
So I'm in business development. So I work with a lot of the new acquisitions, customers that are interested in learning more about it. People can contact me. I'm basically available 16 hours a day.
I unfortunately, don't get married too soon then.
Right.
But I love I thought we had another graphic coming on too. I love the graphic though.
That's just like if Superman was a flasher. Anyway, let's move on, folks.
But this is the future then, and so where do you get the IT people from all over? I mean,
So a lot of our staff are highly trained. They have engineering backgrounds. They have technology backgrounds. They have construction backgrounds. So a lot of our staff will come from the construction industry. So they really have a
They know
working
that
knowledge.
particular industry.
They have a
that
working
applies
knowledge
to-
of the industry. Our two biggest industries right now, construction and public works.
Right.
So water companies, gas and
Makes
electric.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you could do the mom and pop businesses, that would help though too. 'cause
And
that
we
would help
have,
them,
and we have a number of clients who they're small. They've got five guys and 5 trucks, and that's pretty much it. And that's all you need.
So you go at any level.
We go
It doesn't matter.
from a 5-person up to Heineken.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you see if you see this show, since we're international now and have a fan club in France, French too. You take the French too.
Sure.
Yeah. How do they contact you? I think it's you're
Through
modified.
the website they can get me, or by email tparker@gomocha.com. Just reach out, let me know the keyword Princeton, and we'll work out a deal. If you want to talk about a partnership, we can link you up with other possible partners.
Oh, so there's a lot of people like you all over the world, basically, and you do that personal one-on-one relationship.
Absolutely.
You sit down and you see if they're ready for it. You tell them what the business is like.
Sure.
You tell them what the expense you get.
And we'll even create a trial environment for them. Give us your data, give us your assets and your users. We'll build the environment absolutely free of cost. You can play with it for a month.
Right. So it's like a baby. You give them the baby. If it works well, you hold on to it. But I like that too, though. There's not a lot of pressure. It's kind of a win-win, though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. So you guys have integrity. You have money. You have a background. You know. Of course, you want people to buy and get into it, but they can get into it risk-free, basically.
Absolutely.
In a sense.
How's it like having a baby?
Well, Jody, since you're an actor, maybe you're not into the finite information. No, but that was the oldest selling thing in the world. Not saying in a cynical way. You have someone hold a baby, like you give them a product, play with it, see how you like it. Someone when people get babies, they fall in love with a baby or a puppy dog. They don't give it back.
Yeah.
If this works out for you, you can't give it back.
Right.
It works.
It works. Yeah.
Selling babies?
Kind of.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we got to that.
All right.
Okay, we have minutes. Please give us your vital information again and mention that keyword. Say Princeton. You get the first month for free. What's that all again? Say it 3 times. Say it one more time. It's been the third time.
It's Gomocha.com is the website. tparker@gomocha.com is the email. Princeton is the magic word.
Right. You can say it. So in the next month, I want to hear people call Todd, mention Princeton, and show that we actually have good demographics and people call in too. But I'm excited. And I hope
This is very exciting.
It is
Good for
exciting.
you.
And I hope you come
That's
back
awesome.
again.
Sure.
And of course promote this show. and
Absolutely.
everything. Todd Parker, Gomocha.com. Say Princeton.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Back with Robert Downey Jr. We've entered a more serious phase in our questions with Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man 3 has been a great success and everything. And we'll do the 10 questions not first, but maybe you don't want to get into this right now, but you once said Iron Man's become a better person, and you said you've become a better person. And my question is, you said that you can't go from a $2,000 penthouse to jail and come out a liberal. What did you mean by
We're going to
that?
talk about Iron Man, no?
Yeah, but we just did, and
jump
I
right
thought
in.
I saw it, you know.
Well, you know, that's the funny thing about what you say. You know, you can change your opinion. And when I was saying that, I think it was to a reporter, and that just happened to be my opinion at the time. And you know, that's the funny thing about it. You know, opinions can change. You know, I couldn't even tell you what the word liberal means. So, you know, therein lies your answer.
Well, I know you're here to promote a movie. Don't get me wrong. And again, if you don't want to talk about this, we just, we talked briefly on Iron Man and how the characters developed. And you've had
Look,
3 movies.
you better just, your foot's starting to jump. You better move on to your next question.
Seriously, come on.
Oh, okay. But you know, again, I see parallels though. I know you've had dark periods in your life where you know, with your relationship with your father, drinks and drugs and everything. Are you a better person now though, like Iron Man? Are you, have you evolved into your own hero?
Sure, I guess so. Yeah.
When you're working with directors, how do you like to be directed? What is your approach?
It's so weird. I think it almost feels like high school, you know. In a way, I'm comfortable if I feel like I can run roughshod over somebody.
Yeah.
Or I'm comfortable if I feel like they're in my face, but I really know that they know what they're talking about, you know. But really, the middle space is where all the great stuff happens. You know, you don't know what's going to happen when you show up somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not the type of person, you know, with rare exceptions that, you know, to me, the more and more I work on something, the better and better it gets. I tend to like to let things kind of percolate in what would externally seem like an extremely lazy, evasive fashion. And then I like to come in and ninja it with not too many meatballs, you know. But
He's amazing.
You're not already, you know.
But my question is, you know, the first Iron Man, you couldn't even be insured. How did that make you feel then because of that dark past? And, you know.
Well, it's funny, you know, if you had asked me years ago after the first Iron Man, you know, as far as I was concerned, that was real. You know, that was me.
A liberal.
You know, no. as far as I'm concerned, I was Tony Stark, and I don't mean to sound like I was so delusional that I thought I was actually Tony Stark. I just mean that I kind of felt that we had the same persona. But I've come to realize that nobody is their persona, and also as far as Iron Man goes, I think when you have the most riding on it, when you have the most to lose, you can't afford to just cross your eyes. You have to make the most radical departure from just crossing your I's and dotting your T's, and you need that special sauce. And I'm not saying that I'm not that special sauce, but I don't know when we're getting close.
You're one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met in my life, and you're one of the most amazing actors that we've ever been blessed to have.
Please,
in the cinema. I'm Robert. It's how I feel.
You really don't need to say that.
I just from my heart. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. It's just it's from my heart.
But what about the drugs?
Hold on a second. And I wanted to ask you about when people come to work with you, are they younger actors? You've been around the block. You've been there. You're the man. You've done several movies. When you're working with younger actors, how does that?
I find that nobody else cares because, like me, they're primarily thinking about themselves. So if somebody has not made space for themselves yet, there's no way they can make space for anybody else. Now, I appreciate certain platitudes or any of that stuff, but there's also nothing I hate more than when some little 9-year-old kid comes up and says, "You don't really even know what you're doing, do you?" And I go, "No, never have." Now, why don't we start the scene over here, and instead of looking away from the camera, look right here next to the mat box, and I'm going to stand off camera and going to give you 3 funny things to say, and you're going to repeat them 3 times in a row.
You're not using now, though, are you?
Why don't
I'm
we
sorry.
do that?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Listen, you. I don't know what kind of deep, dark agenda you got here, but just because I sit here doesn't mean that you have a button that you can press, to scrutinize me as if I'm some sort of, kitty fiddler running for mayor.
I'm not trying anything. We have some time. You said I have some time to talk to you, and I thought it relates to your
Why
character.
don't we go to the 10 questions and see how that goes?
Okay. Do you want to start?
Robert, this is kind of from the inside the actor studio type stuff, but we just want to, just off the cuff, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word, I guess you mean the meaning. Favorite word.
Just a favorite word.
Well, Piccadilly is a great word,
That's a great word.
I also, my favorite word in terms of meaning is play. I just think that so much of suffering is caused because people take too seriously what the gods created for play. And so I just like to invest anything I do with, a sense of play.
What is your least favorite word, Robert?
That is one of the stupidest questions I've ever heard.
It really is.
If you ask me another stupid question like that, I swear I will tear this joint apart.
I'm just trying to do an interview. You're promoting a movie, and
Listen,
I thought
nobody cares about your
I'm not
dark
trying to offend,
agenda here.
I didn't think I was being offensive.
Can we move on to the next question?
Yes. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, emotionally?
It's so funny. My bloodline has been so outside the establishment for the past 50 years that there's just something that feels really kind of dirty and great about being a family man now. I don't know. I just really like it.
Okay, then what turns you off, Robert?
Toxic people, people like, someone you might know personally well. People that think their process is more important than the overall process.
I'm just trying to get to
know
know
that
the
is
person.
That is how you create enemies with cosmic justice, because you will be humiliated.
I thought maybe losing your smack down the toilet. But anyway.
What is your favorite curse word?
I really try not to curse anymore because I'm a Disney man, a family man now, and I work for Disney. Marvel, owns Disney,
Uh-huh.
and I just don't like it. Except sometimes with my agent, I need to kind of lay down the law there. But when I'm around kids and stuff, I just love it when the words "kids" these days comes out of my mouth.
What?
No, you're getting older.
We're only about a minute or two, but we're
yeah,
going
we
to
got
fast.
a minute left, so. Yeah.
You don't mind if you don't mind, Robert. What sound and noise do you love, Robert Downey Jr.?
What was his name?
I'm not sure.
If at the age of 52 now, if you'd asked me a few years ago, I would have said, I love the sound of my kids laughing or my wife laughing, but now I think I love the sound of my back cracking, in certain yoga poses,
What sound do you hate?
Well, given that I just told you what sound I love, then the sound of my back cracking, the sound I hate is obviously the sound of my back not cracking.
Mm-hmm. And the final minute. Oh, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I always wanted to be a singer, while I can't dance, I can sing, and so dancing just meant don't fall down when you're doing it. But, I actually sang for Sting, one time. And Sting and I are really good friends.
Really?
Trudy, his wife, just brought over some cookies yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we're really good friends. And he sang once, and I sang in his concert once. I don't know if you saw that, but I was amazing.
I'll
I was
bet
just
you were.
amazing.
You are amazing.
But what about if another dark period does come? I don't want to go back to your past, but things.
What is with you and your deep agenda, dark agenda?
I don't see an agenda.
I don't. Like I said, I'm not a kitty fiddler that you can just sit here and ask questions.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean,
I can't.
And by the way, I don't really have a problem with drugs. I have a problem with addiction. There's a difference. I don't think anybody really cares if you start drugs, as long as you don't kill yourself, as long as you don't, as long as you're able to stop it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of stopping, we're going to have stop now. I hope you'll come back. I don't know if you want to talk to
I don't know. Maybe, are you going to be here?
I'll do the interview.
Oh,
Okay, fine. Well, that's been Robert Downey Jr., kind of contentious interview, and we'll learn more about Iron Man and his past, maybe, in the future. Thank you. Back with Breezin with Bierman, the ultimate show with the ultimate guest. We have a Wood family reunion. You're into something, Robie Wood.
Correct.
Is that some kind of like Irish, Gaelic name or something?
That's my middle name, so it's a family name, inherited from my great-grandfather. I have no idea. I think it was somebody's last name back in the day.
Well, time goes fast when you're having fun. You're doing something very interesting. I wish you would start a company and I'd buy into it, because you're doing some improv with corporations.
Right.
And you're looking at improving agility. What is the premise behind this, besides having fun?
Well, improv agility is something that Jody and I put together. He's been doing improvisation work for a long time, and I found out that he was actually doing some of this with businesses. Well, I work with software development teams in developing software products. Right now I'm with Capital One Bank, which is a very interesting experience that I could tell you about.
Capital One, with the commercials we see all the
Yes,
time.
yeah. What's in your wallet?
Jennifer Gardner.
Yes.
Yes. The ex-Miss Ben Affleck, yes. We
Right.
won't get into her personal life.
Yes. So we're basically working with software development teams. They are looking for teams that can actually perform in this new kind of world we're in. We're in a new economy. It's some people call it the new economy. Some people call it the creative economy.
What's that mean, though, in 100 words or less? The creative economy, everything has to be done with IT, make your own business.
Yeah, it's information moves around the world so fast now. Human knowledge is increasing at an exponential rate. Disruption is happening in every industry. So now we're in a world where the customers are in control. Businesses really need to please customers if they want to stay in business. And businesses that have been in business for a long time, or you can see them going out of business. Uber is putting the cab industry out of business and so forth.
Wireless cars could put truckers eventually.
Yeah.
Not. So what does
Yeah, there's a lot
improv
of
do? I
disruption.
mean, I love improv, but that's going to rewire people's brains and they're going to be nicer to customer. I mean,
Well, the people that work in this environment, they really are creative types. So even though where I work with software engineers initially, they really have to be creative to innovate and build great products, and they have to be able to do it really fast. So they're facing constant change. So what we tried to do is put a program together that says, well, what does it mean to be agile? People talk about
and you're a Scrum Master. You come in as the Scrum Master.
The Scrum Master.
It
Yeah,
sounds like something in a petri dish. What is
yeah,
it?
pretty much. It comes from.
When we were growing up, I thought it was a scrum bag. But
Yeah,
anyway.
Scrum. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, from
Or
Scrum.
it sounds like you're sexually harassing someone.
Yeah. Well, it's a servant leader. So the Scrum Master is, instead of a project manager, now we have Scrum Masters, and they're servant leaders that work with teams.
Servant leaders.
Servant leaders. So
The servant is the leader.
Yes. So
Sounds
it's,
kind of like
it's leader.
communism.
It's
It's
leader.
something radical.
It's leader as servant. So
Okay.
because the teams you want to self-organize. So you want people to kind of figure it out themselves, because that's where we kind of generate that
And
creativity.
then what do we have to do? How do we serve the customer? How do we make this new IT?
Yeah.
Who's
and
going to be in
then-
control of that? How much time do you need?
Yeah, instead of the project manager, you have the servant leader who's trying to get these people to self-organize and really get creative and get focused and to deal with change. And that's what our improv agility does, is we put together exercises from improvisational theater that help build on the kind of skills that people need to build, real personal skills for collaborating, communicating, being able to be lifelong learners, the ability to make decisions when you don't have all the information you need at your disposal.
So you and Jody come in and we do improv, like follow yes and everything like
Well,
that.
it starts with the SN mindset,
Right.
that exercise, and then it builds into various, depending on how long the workshop is,
Right. But
building into
Yeah,
but for it to work, they have to keep, after you're gone, they have to keep on doing it.
right.
yeah, and it's something you have to revisit. It's like training. It's like trying to build build muscle memory. Jody said it starts with yes and that's kind of the basis of, I guess, all of improv,
Yes,
right?
definitely,
It's
definitely.
we're going to take what somebody else on our team gives us, and we're going
build
to try
on
and build on it. So
Whether you love the idea or not,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
but-
kind of the essence of collaboration, and that's the first part of being agile and becoming a servant leader as well.
Do you have
So-
testimonials? I mean, this is like a new like the world's changing. This is like a new kind of business, taking improv, which some people thought, hey, it's fun, it's creative.
Yeah.
And it scares the hell out of them as well. It's
course.
like, oh my God, I can't do this, and
in front of my peers.
Yeah, I don't want to be silly, and we squash that right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. And I've had people say, oh, I didn't know what to expect. I love this. I was scared to death, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm thinking to myself, what else do I think I can't do?
Right.
So
So
I
that's the
love-
testimonials you
Oh
get
my
back.
God.
I mean, have you
Exactly.
revisited and seen
Yeah,
it?
and we find all the time in different contexts, you can kind of throw it in there. For example, I was working with a group in Capital One Bank last week, and we had somebody said, well, can you lead us in a retrospective? We want to talk
What's the
about
retrospective?
Well, retrospective.
Scrum Master.
We want to look
Watch your
at
mouth.
we want to look at kind of we've had a program for the last quarter, and we did things a certain way. We want to kind of revisit that. What did we do well? What didn't we do so well?
Oh, that's how you
what can
implement
we
it.
improve? So
But you have to have a lot of honesty and openness
yeah,
for
that's
this
what
to happen.
That's what improv
Right.
is, right?
Yeah, but I thought you get a lot of egos and dictators. I mean, how do you overcome that?
Yeah, well, that's a lot of the principles of improvisation from improvisational theater really influence that. The
They
idea
say check your ego at the door without
Yeah.
saying it. That's what improv is about.
It has to
and
be
don't try
egalitarian.
and don't try and do it well. Don't try and be the star.
Don't
It's
try,
all
just
about
be.
yes.
I mean, it sounds liberating, but like you said, it's groundbreaking. But like any new technology or a new way of training people, I can see there'd be resistance. So, but how's your company growing? I mean, I know Jody goes up in California, but Las Vegas. I mean, people want this. It seems to be working.
Yeah, I mean,
Scrum
we're
Master.
actually our
You
brand.
like that.
I still want to know exactly why it's
It's great.
Scrum Master. Anyway.
If you asked
Scrum,
me, if you
but-
would have asked me 20 years ago what I'd be doing,
Oh, the
my
scrum
God.
and rugby.
Yeah,
Because you put them on
and-
to get hey.
Yes, it comes from
Okay,
rugby.
that's
That's the
it.
idea. Yep. So
I thought you were smart.
I'm smart.
Did you go to school, stupid?
What did Fred
Yeah,
say?
come on,
I'm
the same
smart.
way.
I'm smart. I know
Let
things.
them I'm smart.
Yeah.
I give them some respect.
Right.
well, in our brand, actually, we're we're connected. Actually, you talk about the Netherlands. You had a guest on earlier. We're working with a worldwide network called Happy Melly, which is
It sounds like a happy ending, sexually.
well, our improv-agility is
Sorry, I'm improving.
Right there.
our improv-agility band is
Improv-agility.
brand is really a Happy Melly brand. So it's an international network of people that are committed to bringing happiness to work. And,
Are you the only person doing this?
No, with Happy Melly is run by Jürgen Apollo, right?
Yeah,
He
Jürgen
started this whole
Apollo
thing.
he's written the book Management 3.0, and he How to Change the World.
So
and a
you're on the
couple of his
cutting edge,
books,
though.
so-
But you think you guys are on the cutting edge of something and retraining,
It's
rebranding?
all about keeping people engaged and you know they want to go to work and they're happy there.
And you work with big companies, small companies, little project managers, big project managers.
Yeah, and we're doing our own workshops and getting
Princeton
people
TV
from,
needs this.
Yeah, well, that'd be great.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
We really have to improv now. 2 minutes. Have you got your message out? You have 2 minutes. What do you want to say? What do you want people to know about you? How can they reach you? Would you fire your own brother if you had to?
He already has.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
geez, I try, but you know, he does it much better than I do. So,
We actually do a game called You're Fired. It's just fun.
I like that.
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
Anyway.
and we're doing our own workshops. We're actually going to be in London in October, working with this Happy Melly group, the Management 3.0 people that facilitate that program throughout the world. And going to work with those guys. So that's
How many-
our
We were in
next big
Paris
event.
about a year ago.
It's just you two right now. You keep it in family, right in house.
Yes.
What's up?
Yeah.
It stays in the family.
You're not going to train like little mini me woods if it gets bigger too. And
Yeah. I mean, our larger idea for scaling is to train to get other
train the trainer
facilitators,
kind of thing, yeah.
train the trainers, and actually get other people interested in becoming facilitators and implementing our program.
hey, if you send me to
So-
Paris, I'll go.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I don't know.
You know, more people that are competent.
Oh, competency.
People can actually do, relate to people in a positive way.
You're being like kind of-
Robert Downey
you're like-
Jr.
you're like
hates
a-
your guts right
well,
now.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, I let him on, even though this is not.
Anyway,
Competency.
Improv-agility.com.
That's right.
Improv-agility. Can you tell
Improv-agility.com.
your brother he has to plug himself properly,
I'll
though?
plug
Improv-agility.com.
You tell my brother to go plug himself? What's wrong with
And
you?
if they see you on the street,
He's a guest on your show, for Christ's sake.
and then people can come talk to you. Your body language is telling me you're a little uptight right now.
Oh, really? Oh,
What are you, a body actor?
I'm improving.
He's like this. Everything's going
Because
inward.
you're pissing him off. It's like Robert Downey.
Well, I did it with Robert Downey.
Does that look better now?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Improv-agility.com. Thank you.
In my training, I was taught that when a marriage is seriously broken and there have been years of anger and resentment, sometimes it's better to just get a divorce. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely felt that I was being nudged in that direction when we were in marriage counseling too. And I think sadly, you're right that a lot of professionals in the mental health industry are not trained properly, in my opinion. And I have to say, I have a lot of anger about that still. I see this really bad relationship advice everywhere I look, and I just want to punch somebody in the nose because it was very painful for me to not know what to do in my marriage. Well, I absolutely love that you have a commitment to make the mental health industry more effective in terms of preserving relationships, preserving marriage. And I think one of the reasons that it is so important for me is because the problems in my marriage, the breakdown in my marriage, was really the portal to a journey where I became my best self. So this was the best self-improvement program I ever went on. And I had a lot of mental health problems before I began practicing the intimacy skills. I was diagnosed with depression, and I went on SSRIs, and I had my husband diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, and he went on Ritalin. So we were quite the pair. But in that scenario, we had a broken down marriage with one guy who had a disorder deficit, and me with my depression, and I also had anxiety too. And it really was not the marriage that I dreamed of when I stood at the altar and said I do. In that scenario, we would laugh together and have inside jokes, and he would make bedroom eyes, and that's what I really wanted. And I felt like these diagnoses might help us get there, but that wasn't my experience at all. In fact, it really just left us more hopeless than ever and feeling really more broken and sort of pathologized instead of the model that I see that's certainly been effective for us is I just wasn't trained. My parents are divorced, and I was following a failed recipe by just doing what was modeled for me. So a lot of us didn't have relationships 101 in school. I had a little self-study program myself where my textbooks were Cosmo and Glamour magazine, and those just sure didn't work either. So where are we supposed to learn this stuff? It's kind of frustrating that it's not more widely available, and that's part of why I'm so passionate about making sure that every woman has access to the information, to the 6 intimacy skills that can transform her relationship.
So what would you say is the one question you should never ask a man? If you don't want to have an argument, what's the best way to avoid it to begin with?
Well, one of the things that I thought was going to be really effective for creating intimacy in my marriage was asking my husband how he felt. And I learned that in therapy, right? Everything in therapy is, how do you feel? Well, that's actually kind of a feminine cultural question. But asking a man how he feels is about like asking a woman who's wearing a bathing suit and eating a piece of pizza, how much she weighs. Like, you would that. It's the same culturally to ask a man how he feels. They don't want to talk about it. We women are the ones with the emotional brilliance. So it's actually much more effective and powerful for us to check with ourselves and say, oh, how do I feel? And then express that. And men are super attracted to that about us. They especially love that we know how we feel and what we want. And that can really create a lot of intimacy. In fact, without our vulnerability in that regard, intimacy is impossible. That's a key ingredient for it. And we're never going to get it by asking him. I see a lot of women saying, which way, they'll ask their husbands or their boyfriends, where's this relationship going? And I always want to say, ask yourself, because you're the one that has all the power. And just like Spider-Man, right, with great power comes great responsibility. So I think we have a responsibility to learn these intimacy skills so that we can create strong relationships and strong families that lead to strong communities and a stronger country and a better world.
So just the wife has to learn the intimacy skills. Does
Isn't
a husband doesn't have to learn anything?
Well, what I've seen is that we really do have more power in relationships. And one of the statistics that blew my mind when I first started learning about the intimacy skills is that women initiate more divorce. And amongst college-educated women, it's as high as 90%. So you think about any kind of negotiation, like even if you're on a car lot, right? The person who walks away has the most power. So even that statistic kind of supports the idea that we're more likely to be the ones to call it quits in a relationship. And so therefore, that is one aspect of how we have more power. Another way that women are more powerful in relationships is that we are the sexier sex, and men tend to need sex more than women do. And so we're the gatekeepers of sex. So one of the things I've done is ask thousands of men. I'll say, how important is it to you that your wife is happy? And they all say the same thing. They say, oh, it's everything. It's the most important thing. A guy in England said, it's imperative. And so they're running around trying to make us happy. They just have a natural drive to do that. Part of it might be they're trying to keep their one and only sex partner happy. I think that certainly comes into it. But it seems to be bigger than that, because I just know for me, when I express a desire to my husband and I do it what I call purely, no criticism or control in there, but just really am focused on the final outcome of what I want, the guy will trip over himself. He can't get it done fast enough.
You just call it back again. We're doing the improv segment, which I like a lot, and
Well, the ratings are going sky high.
Sky high. We like, I like that we tension, creative tension, and everything. Anyway, we only have 10 minutes. We're doing the improv segment. Jody's taking the lead.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, I thought you were.
you're the scrum master.
No, he's the scrum master.
Okay.
Scrum.
You're the scrum bag.
Okay,
All
not
right,
only
let's
do you
use that
teach
joke
improv,
again.
you do it yourself. Not only am I, you're a customer too. Okay, whatever.
That's right.
Okay.
The hair man's here for
The hairpiece guy,
yeah.
whatever. Okay.
I think is he alive?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to do a little improvisation.
So you're laughing,
Stuff, and
you're
here's how
laughing.
we kind of maybe teach it a little bit, so you get the idea of it. But this isn't a lesson show; it's an entertainment show. 'Cause
And Lauren goes, I don't know if I want to do something else because I don't know what people want to watch it. So he wasn't into it, but we forgive him.
We'll see.
throw the man right under the bus.
We have 9 minutes.
Start
Controversy.
with the 9 minutes.
Controversy.
It's like my wedding night, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ.
What did you say?
Alexander Graham Bell and his wedding
make
night
your
said to his
wife's-
wife, what do you mean my 3 minutes are up? But anyway, what?
No, you said your wife always screams when she has an orgasm because you always walk in when she's making love to someone
Right,
else.
right, yeah.
Okay, fine. Go.
Gosh.
Go.
Can
Sorry.
you believe you just said that?
Sort of thing, huh?
See how this is going?
Yeah, this is rough. Is that improv?
Yeah, that's improv.
Okay, we have 8.
What do we have? 8.5 minutes. So
Yes.
in 8.5 minutes, I'm going to kick his ass. Anyway,
That,
Lawrence
might bring,
the one-
that might bring a lot more hits. More
Lauren was the
live.
one arguing with you.
no,
So-
he wasn't.
okay, fine.
Off
Wasn't
camera.
arguing.
Off camera, okay.
Jesus Christ. Lauren's a professional.
Okay, my
Yes.
filter's not on.
All right. Can we just do this?
Yes.
This is improv. Whenever you get to these fucking games, let's just stand there and do this. Remember the conversation we had a couple of shows ago? That was awesome.
Yes,
Talking
that's
about sports and-
that's what I was going
and, you
for.
know,
yes.
just the politics
Oh,
or
get your
whatever.
hockey.
Get your
Hockey?
hip, get your hip back in place and leave me alone. Okay.
What's wrong with your hip?
Well, the audience doesn't know that, so my back was out. So people need to get your hip back in place. No one knows what we're talking about.
He got his hip popped before the show.
He got
back
plugged.
adjustment.
He got plugged.
He said he got popped before the show. I thought, all right,
Yeah,
whatever.
2 pops. Okay.
I
Anyway,
haven't
what are we
popped in
doing?
years. I'm married now. I'm like Santa Claus. I come once a year. But anyway,
Doing.
let's do this, shall we? Improvisation. That's the Discovery Channel. Improvisation is, it's a great skill. It's fun, it's funny, and it's also a great skill for actors to learn and for schmucks to try. But the base, the foundation of improvisation is the yes and mindset. And that is not just in improv, but really in life. That's why we do this in our workshops. And you've been there. You've been in my workshops. You know the whole yes and mindset. So we start out with an exercise called yes and. But
And
when
yes,
you
and
actually
we only
put
have
it to
7 more
practice-
minutes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, and I swear I can't wait for them to get here so I can beat the living shit out of you.
We do time check every 30 seconds.
Yes.
That's what oh.
I'm getting anal. I'm sorry. You
Yeah, I
said to
bet
be-
you are.
You said to be more professional. I'm getting anal.
Why don't you go plug
He
yourself?
said that.
I would be pitching. You know that. No catching. Okay, sorry.
He sure throws a mean curveball.
Brandon's turning off
I'll tell
every
you.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
anyway.
what? Good. We're not going to get to these exercises now. This is what we
Well, I
do.
wanted to do the one that you were talking about with the, getting
Rapid fire.
whatever.
Two-line vocabulary?
Yeah, but he wasn't into it.
He's not into a lot of things that you're into.
Okay, let's do yes and.
Especially that one part. It's fun.
Okay, yes and.
This is a man you're talking to right here. Yes and is the basis of improvisation, okay? And it's basically, we're going to do a little bit around it. We're going to start with a statement and I'll yes and it. And what it means is, yes, I'm listening, and I'm going to build on your idea. That's all it is. This way in improvisation, you're not denying anybody's idea. You're not putting anybody's idea down. You feel comfortable as an actor or as a person to come up with ideas and not be shut down.
Like you were talking about as a scrum master with your agility, of the new workforce.
So many times you said Scrum Master tonight.
I like the
likes
sound.
that
It's
What
like
does
Crouch
that word
Mark.
He's
even
got a whole
mean?
scrum.
What does Scrum Master mean?
It's the latest. in
What do you
project
care? You don't even
management.
want to do the two-headed
Yeah,
other thing. What if
all
he
of a sudden
care?
you give a shit.
Yeah, you
I'm
give a
just-
shit.
No, don't.
Okay.
He's a tough guy. He'll
So
kick both
I
of
go,
our asses.
yes, and we only have 6 more minutes to
so-
go. Oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
I was improving.
Okay, give me a statement. Anything. Say something.
It got very, very humid today.
Yes, and my air conditioning went out. Wouldn't you know it? Yes. And
Oh, it was
when
very
air-
tremendous. And
Yes,
that's for running
and-
the lane.
Yeah, Mr. Actor, yes, and.
Yes,
Mr.
and build on my
Yes,
idea.
then I went out to the movies.
That has nothing to do with what I just said. though.
I know. Improv.
Right. Yes, and
The
movie
movies-
theaters are often very cool, very air conditioned.
Yes, and I have to wear a sweater sometimes in the movie theater because I get so cold by the end of the movie.
Yes, and when you wear sweaters, you can see your nipples because they get hard in the movie theater.
And you can add to that.
Yes, then we all.
And.
Yes, and.
Yes, and then we all went out for ice cream.
Okay. After
Yes,
your nipples
and
got hard.
ice cream helps when you're hot, and especially when you leave the air conditioning and you're out in the warm air.
Yes, and when I'm hot, I get even hotter when I see Lauren.
Yes, and I think Adam has a man crush on you.
Yes, and Adam, can you tell us how much time we have left?
Yeah, I'm going to screw.
It's been a
about
while.
4 minutes.
Yes, and time is very fleeting.
Okay. So should we go on to the next thing?
All right, so that's basically it. It's like the most fucked up version of Yes and you'll never see. But anyway, we're going to do a one-word game called One Word Story, which I will participate in. We're going to build a sentence one word at a time. So this week you can't have any agenda, you can't plan anything. It just has to be what it is in that moment. Okay.
One sentence at a
So
time.
the improv is about working moment to moment, basically, in acting. So go ahead.
Start a sentence.
One word.
One word. The
Man,
Went,
2,
the
store,
bathroom,
and
he
proceeded,
to,
leave.
something
nasty,
in,
The
bathroom.
someone,
took,
my
Pecker.
and
shoved it,
that's one word now. It's a hyphenated.
shoved,
Shoved it.
around
The toilet. The
yeah.
So this is like the amateur version of this game. I'm used to working with the professionals, but I'm not going to be a dick and say anything.
Lauren threw us off with the argument. I'm sensitive. Okay, what's
You're
next?
still mad about that?
I am.
Do the time check really quick.
3 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Based on that horseshit, we're going to do a game called Three-Headed Expert. I'm going to facilitate. You guys are three. We can't move.
No, we
Okay.
can't move.
You three guys are one person with three heads, okay? And you're going to be an expert in something. Let's say you're an expert in space travel, all right? I'm going to ask you some questions, and you answer one word at a time. Not trying to be funny, not trying to, screw up anybody's idea. We're just going to do it. All right, so you would start. My name is Harry Houdini, whatever it is.
Okay.
If you said the last word, the next question you would start with the answer, okay? So let's say you're an expert in space travel. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. What is your name?
My
Very
name,
is
super.
man.
Superman.
yes.
That's really your name?
Yes.
It
Is
My
Wow.
my
very
special.
name.
Special. So tell me, have you traveled yourself in space?
I
Did
Travel.
to
Mars.
Really? When?
Many
centuries
Ago.
How old are you?
I
am
285.
years
old
So how old were you when you went to Mars?
I
do
remember
that
time
when
I
visited
Pluto.
Huh. Have you ever visited Uranus?
I
visited
Uranus.
I know you did. It's killing me. But anyway.
several.
times
Before.
And what was that like? What was that like? I'm supposed to...
It
very
Gross.
What's gross about it? Why would they name a planet? Is it actually Uranus?
yes.
it
Time check.
Yes, a
15
time
sec-
check.
we only have 15 seconds. That was very interesting improv.
That's just where are we over here? Yeah,
Oh,
that's just kind of an idea.
yeah, Jody has to learn to not hit. Sometimes, I know you want to be egalitarian, but I think you should have punched him
No way.
and smacked me.
No, I'd smack
that-
you, but I would never.
Oh.
Lauren would kick my ass in 3 seconds.
I want to
Yeah.
do the thing about with the 2 words on my agenda thing. What's it called again?
2-line vocabulary.
Yeah, I want to do that next time, though.
We will.
Okay. Well, this has been a very exciting Breezin with Bierman. We'll be back again with Jody Ward, Lauren
It's funny, he
LaPree.
never gets his last name right. You notice that?
Yeah.
Breezin
he,
with
doesn't know,
Breezin.
he doesn't know his own last name.
This is Breezing with Bing. Anyway,
Duh!
come back next week to see the next Breezing with.
Welcome back to What's Trending with Raya, only here on Breezing with Bierman. And yes, I am back to bring you new cool stuff, especially for the summer season. So let's get started. Guys, if you are looking for a perfect casual pair of shorts, I got you covered for this summer. BBO shorts are highly quality board shorts that feature a hidden bottle opener. So it has a hidden bottle opener in the pocket. They were invented by a surfer that, he was with his buddies in the beach and they have beverages, but there's no can opener or bottle opener. So what happened is they got bloody thumb and chipped tooth because of that. So what they did is to have and discover this BBO shorts. So they come in a bunch of different colors, including solid gray. So no matter what is your style, you'll find a pair that you will love. I discovered Supergoop's SPF 50 mousse sunscreen by accident, but now they're definitely my favorite brand. It goes on light and smooth, and it's not greasy at all when you rub it in. So you can grab a smaller 3.4 ounce bottle that you can carry around. That's what I use. And then they have also a larger 7.1 ounce bottle that you can carry on your big vacations or summer getaways. So, you have to wear your SPF every day. So make it easy for yourself. My favorite part is they are cruelty free. They don't test on animals. So make sure you check out Supergoop's SPF 50 mousse sunscreen. So are you ready to be wet and humid this summer? You will be, thanks to my pal Alexa. She introduced me to this incredible handheld Instant. It is a fan. It has a 3 speeds, 2 misting modes, and a 20 milliliter, water tank to keep you cool all the time. It comes in a blue or pink color and is very available in Amazon Prime, so you can get yours at any time for your summer getaway plans. This is one of my favorite items for this month. Remember when you were a kid and you turn your couch, your table, or your chairs into fort, and then you put a bunch of pillows and blankets? It was the coziest place on earth, right? Now you can have that again. Privacy Pop is a tent where the base fits under the mattress and the tent fits on top of your bed. It's a great solution for people, if you need privacy or darkness or a solution for your sleep, you can grab this privacy tent. They even make a desk version so you can nap at work if you're allowed to, if you can get away with it. Plus, if you sign up for the emailing list, you can get a 20% discount on your first purchase. So we talked about that SPF lotion, a sunscreen earlier, right? And by now that you're supposed to wear your SPF every day. Even if you're loving having that tan, I'm having that right now, your skin still needs protection. So, but most of us, especially women, you don't worry about your face because most of the makeup, they already have those SPFs. But how about your body? So that's why I'm so excited that I discovered Mott 50. So it's a line of clothing, athletic wear, and swimwear that they have a UPF rating of 50. What does UPF mean? This means that only 1/50th UVA or UVB can reach your skin through this clothing. So they're stylish. They have an entire chambray line, and I'm completely in love with the Chloe bodysuits. Right now, use the code TRENDING at checkout for you to receive 20% discount off. So that's been our 5 featured items for the summer edition of our What's Trending with Raya. I'll see you next month. Baba booey to all.